Good afternoon, sir, and what an afternoon it is. Beautiful sunshine, hardly a cloud in the sky, and if I do say so myself, your garden, which you have taken ever so much care of, is looking absolutely fantastic. Yes, I noticed that both the rose bushes and the azaleas have reached their peak bloom, and they are looking phenomenal. No, sir, no, I wouldn't dream of flattering you. I speak only the truth. Yes. Well, you know that under normal circumstances, I would be loath to interrupt you during one of your brief periods of respite and relaxation. However, there are some rather pressing household matters that unfortunately we will need to discuss. But I would never dream of interrupting you without at least providing you a bit of refreshment. So, here is one beautifully cool and wonderfully fragrant summertime lemonade mix. It's got a bit of strawberry, of course, lemonade, as the name would suggest, as well as some additional notes and flavors, which I think you will greatly appreciate. Here you are. Is that to your liking? Wonderful. I thought it might be. Yes. Well, seeing as it is more summertime, a little bit warmer outside, I thought that it would be much more suitable to serve something as cool and refreshing as lemonade, as opposed to something that's a little bit more heady. Yes. Wonderful. I'm so glad you appreciate. Now, if you do not mind, of course, we will quickly discuss just a few items of business. Wonderful. Thank you very much, sir. Now, the first item is, of course, your upcoming trip to New York City. Now, this business trip, I believe, is at the end of this week. Isn't that correct? Yes. Well, as I've said previously, my eidetic memory does come in handy every once in a while. Yes. Wonderful. Now, New York City being a bit of a concrete jungle, save for the ramshackle collection of trees they call a park, is quite a bit warmer than out here in the countryside. So rather than your charcoal, if I may be so bold, I would suggest the navy, or perhaps the tan suit. The navy suit. Excellent choice. And for shoes, would you prefer the leather loafers, or something a little bit more casual fabric? The leather. All right. Then would you like the black leather or the brown leather? Yes, I imagine so, but I always defer and would like to ask your opinion, of course. I agree, though. Black leather shoes with a navy suit was very in vogue when IBM, Big Blue as it were, was in its heyday, but ever since the fashion has kind of passed them by, as it were, and now the combination might be seen as, well, just a bit garish. Yes. And we always would want to avoid being seen as garish. Yes. Always. Now, for driving, would you prefer to drive or be driven to the airport for your flight? Very good. Okay. And which auto would you prefer to use? I see. Yes. Wonderful. I will have the chauffeur prepare the Bentley then, and he will meet you at 9:00 a.m. sharp. You'll need to do nothing more than hop out of bed and hop into the car. Yes. Well, you know I, whenever possible, prefer to make any experience as seamless as possible. Absolutely. It's what separates a good butler, as it were, a good butler from a great butler. And seeing as I am in the employment of someone as great as yourself, I always seek to be great. Yes. Very good then. Now, I'm assuming you would prefer to use one of your private planes from your fleet for this particular voyage. Yes. I see. I will have the pilot and stewarding staff arranged under the usual contract. Wonderful, yes. I know and they know and are familiar with your rather high standards, yes, and they are prepared to meet and, whenever possible, exceed them. Yes, this agency we've used many, many times, and I've grown to greatly trust them. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, there is the small matter of where you will be staying. I took the liberty of booking the usual, but if you would prefer, I could seek a different hospitality service. Okay, yes, wonderful. I'll alert the concierge that he should be expecting you, and take care to remind him of your various particular preferences and requirements, yes. I, as you know, am quite good friends with this particular concierge, but I would never dream of leaving things up to chance. As I always say, it never hurts to be too careful when it comes to comfort. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, tomorrow evening is a rather important event for you now, isn't it? Because it is your annual garden party, and how fitting that your garden has become so vibrant and full of life these past few days. Just in time for the party. Now, we of the staff, I should say, have taken care of most of the particulars, but there are still a few items that various members requested that I run by you for your approval. For example, the chef requested that I run by you a few choices for hors d'oeuvres, entrees, and desserts. He assured me that there was no need to bother you with the particulars of soups, salads, courses, and whatnot, and that he would be able to fill in around your choices dishes that wonderfully complemented. Now, in the interest of keeping things quite summery and light, the chef has selected a few suggestions for you that will satisfy and fill you up, but nothing that is too greasy or filled with red meat. More plant-based, vegetable-based, with nice, light, summery sauces, dips, accoutrements. Yes. Well, he did want to make sure, of course, that the occasion was being met. He did also hasten to mention that should none of these choices appeal to you, or if you would wish to substitute one thing for another, he'd be more than happy to do that. So, with your permission, I would like to run by you some of the suggestions for the hors d'oeuvres. The chef suggests the brie mushroom pastries, the spinach turnovers, the salmon mousse canapes, and the Tuscan pepper bruschetta. He also took care to mention that if you would prefer multiple hors d'oeuvres to be served, or all of the hors d'oeuvres to be served, he is more than capable of meeting that request. Excellent. Yes, I think that's a very good choice. That in particular is quite light, very evocative of a quality garden party, which of course you have always been able to deliver a quality garden party. Wonderful. For entrees, he suggests duck with beets and watercress, miso glazed Chilean sea bass, or crown roast with an apricot dressing, or apricot if you prefer. Yes, and the chef did take care to mention that all of these dishes will be delicious in his care, but he did mention that he has a particular lead on a high-quality crown roast, which he thinks might be to your liking. Very good, then. Excellent. I'll let him know that that's our selection. And one more thing is the dessert, of course. Yes. Now, for dessert, he suggested mini cheesecakes, a blackberry cobbler, or a strawberry parfait. Now, of course, again, a combination is acceptable and encouraged, in fact. Excellent. Okay. I will let him know of all of your decisions. Now, in order to ensure that you're able to enjoy your garden to the maximum for as long as possible, decorating will only begin tomorrow morning. That way, if you would like, you can see the sun set and then rise without being disturbed. That process will be overseen by the chief gardener and myself. And regarding the event, young Anthony will be manning the cocktail bar. He has picked up a few things from the chef and wishes for the opportunity to show off his skills to not just the guests, but to you as well. With your blessing, I would let him man the bar. Excellent. I'm sure he will be thrilled with the opportunity. A few additional matters of business, more rapid fire than the garden party and trip. Worry not. The agency that you have contracted for your custom yacht rang and said that the architectural designs are ready and have been transmitted for your approval whenever you get around to it. Very good then. Excellent. The real estate agent that you had contracted to find you that particular piece of property that we had discussed also contacted me and wished to set up an appointment with you. Now, I know that this project is one that you are particularly invested in, but your schedule is a bit booked for the next few weeks. And in fact, the only time that we are able to schedule an appointment for would be 2 weeks from now towards the end of the week. Is that acceptable? Excellent. I will schedule that immediately and alert him that you expect a full presentation of his findings. Very good. The tailor that you set up an appointment with, that appointment is approaching rather rapidly, actually. Are there any last-minute requests, requirements that you would like me to pass on before that arrives? I see. Yes. Absolutely, I think that prudent. Yes, so focus on more formal wear, but do not neglect the casual. You'll be expecting at least one casual style from him. Very good. I will let him know of that post-haste. Very good. Excellent. Your mother's birthday is also approaching rather rapidly. Last year, I believe you had given her the Rolex and the tour of Tuscany. Would you prefer to do something similar to that? Or would you like to shake things up a bit? I see. Yes, absolutely. Then, if you do not mind, or you would permit me, I do have a few suggestions. Yes. I seem to recall that your mother prefers the splendor of the outdoors, and that's why you sent her to Tuscany, isn't that correct? Wonderful. And I also seem to recall that she does not object to more rugged landscapes. In fact, she seems to prefer those. Wonderful. With that in mind, then, I would suggest, on the recommendation of a very, very good friend of mine, that you perhaps consider gifting her an experience in Iceland. He recommends a particular Icelandic lodge that offers excursions to see the northern lights. He assures me that it is the absolute standard of luxury, and it even has natural hot springs and spas on site. Yes, I think that you would like this. Very good. I will schedule that, and I will also procure her favorite perfume to go along with it. I think that would be nice. Yes, I was contacted by her chief butler and alerted that this would be a rather fitting gift. She seems to be running a bit low on her supply. Oh, well, you know, the staff of households, especially households as connected as yours and your mother's, we tend to keep things abreast of any developments such that when our employer has any particular questions or things that they would wish to discuss, we are always on the cutting edge of any knowledge which is being passed around. Yes, just so that we can serve you more readily and have your quality of service be the standard that you expect. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, one final matter. Dame Karen Pierce will be arriving for her scheduled dinner with you shortly. Now, of course, all of the arrangements regarding food and the household have already been made. The chef and the rest of the staff are very hard at work and have assured me that everything will be in place and will be done to a standard that is exceedingly impressive. Absolutely. We understand the importance of this engagement, yes. However, there is the matter of wine, which still must be settled. Wine, of course, is integral to any dinner, but to this one, I think there is particular importance. Now, seeing as the dish that will be served is lamb, might I suggest a Zinfandel or a Cabernet? I see. Absolutely. Absolutely. I will procure one of our finest bottles, not the finest, mind you, but one of our finest bottles from the cellar and have that ready for you for whenever you would wish to begin serving that. Absolutely. I think that just about wraps everything up. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your relaxing afternoon to discuss these matters of business with me. I understand that these can seem, well, a bit dull and droll, but please, do realize that they are of extraordinary importance for a person like myself, whose job it is to ensure that your life is as streamlined and comfortable as possible. That these chats every so often just help me fulfill that duty and obligation to you. I will take my leave of you now. Make sure that the staff and chef are all well equipped, prepared, and going about their required duties for the dinner engagement this evening. And then, of course, I shall reappear once the engagement draws a bit nearer and help you out with any last-minute preparations. Wonderful. Thank you so much again for your time, and I'll see you very soon. Absolutely. Goodbye. So long, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.